What's up YouTube, PokePrimer here, ready to deliver you our team builder for our week number 3 match in the PFL Minor League against Supaman Kane and the New York Aggrons. Now, Supaman might be 0-2 right now, but I'm not taking this match any less lightly because it is a division matchup, so I'm going to have to be extra careful to win this matchup so I can stay at the top of my division without any real issues. So far, we are sitting at 2-0 with a plus 10 differential, which is utterly insane that we have done so well so far. But hopefully this week we can keep our winning ways going and breeze past Supaman without too many issues. But his team is actually pretty decent. It does have a very big ground weakness, which you'll notice, but outside of that, it's very decent overall, and I'm actually kind of a fan of his team. Yeah, he's got some mons on there that I'm really a fan of when it comes to the draft format, so it's going to be a very interesting matchup, to say the least, but without further ado, let's get into his team. So, Supaman's team is Drapion, Mega Aggron, Toxicroak, Azumarill, Clawitzer, Bisharp, Barbaracle, Mismagius, Hitmonlee, Machamp, and Infernape. So you can see he likes fighting types, as his last 3 mons drafted were all fighting. Actually, he has 4 fighting types drafted total, so that's something to keep an eye out for. You also got a couple of steel types, a couple of water types. Like he's got a very centralized team around a couple of different typings, so you can see definitely where he specializes in. But a couple of these mons are really scary for a lot of different reasons. So it's pretty legit. It's pretty legit. So it's going to be kind of fun. It's going to be fun to have this matchup. I'm excited for this. I think we can pull off some amazing stuff here. Using the team that I've built here, starting off with our guaranteed lead for this matchup being Chun-Li, our Mega Lopunny. Chun-Li has been putting so much work in, picking up 4 kills this week and actually being in the running to be MVP last week. It was fantastic. It was actually fantastic. I was really happy with how everything went. Definitely a good time. So hopefully we can pick up a lot more kills this week with Mega Lopunny. I want Mega Lopunny to be the star of our run through this minor league. So definitely gonna be busting my ass to make sure this thing shines. And I think this week is a week where I can definitely make sure that this thing absolutely dominates. 100% dominates everything. So hopefully that can happen. We're rocking the moveset of Fake Out, Power Up Punch, High Jump Kick, and Thunder Wave. Because this basically I don't really need anything else other than that for his team coverage-wise. Power Up Punch is very key to Lopunny putting in work in this matchup because Mega Aggron at a lot of different percentages, especially depending on how he decides to build it, Mega Aggron has the potential to live a lot of things from our Mega Lopunny. I mean, let me just pull up the damage calcs right now and just explain to you the absolute disgustingness of Mega Aggron's power right now. Like, it's actually disgusting. Mega Aggron. Now, okay, so say just for example, he's max physically defensive, which a lot of people don't typically run, but you could. Say he's max physically defensive. A high jump kick barely has a chance to 2-hit KO. It only has a 2% chance to 2-hit KO. Now, if we're at +1 with Adamant Nature, we have a guaranteed 2-hit KO. If we are +2, we have a guaranteed 2-hit KO, doing max 98.8%. If we get to +3, if we can somehow get to +3 at some point in this matchup, which would be insane. I honestly don't think that's going to happen. We guarantee Oko with high jump kick on a fully physically defensive Mega Aggron. So that's fucking crazy. But Power Up Punch, we're going to hit it whenever we can. If we get to certain levels, you know, we can definitely boost off of a couple of things. You know, we can boost off of just about anything. That's why Thunder Wave is there as well. Thunder Wave is there to shut down potential sweepers. He's got potential to sweep with, you know, Toxicroak, Barbaracle. A couple of them have the potential to set up and sweep. Mismagius can as well. I don't really want that to happen. I really don't. That's the last thing that I want to see happen. So Thunder Wave is key here, because if I can get a Thunder Wave on one of those guys, that'd be great. I feel like he's going to lead with one of them to try and set up and just get the sweep in immediately. So I definitely want to be able to shut that down as soon as possible. It's a huge threat, because he's got so many potent sweepers that I really need to be careful about what I do in this matchup. Every turn counts in order to prevent from getting swept and fucked over in our placement. You know, we're sitting right now at the top of the power rankings. I don't want to fuck that up. But yeah, Mega Lopunny, if he can get a few power-up punches off, can pretty much sweep his entire team. There's nothing on his team that stops this thing at all with this moveset. Even, you know, if you get to +1 or +2, Zoomeril doesn't exactly appreciate a high jump kick all that much. Yeah, that's if he even brings the Azumarill. I have enough threats towards the Azumarill that I don't think he will bring it. But regardless of that, I think, you know, it's one of the only things that could potentially slow us down. But outside of that, you know, it's not really scary. But yeah, that's going to be our Mega Lopunny. It's very standard. Click Fake Out to Mega Evolve. Click Power Punch on something. Paralyze something that wants to sweep. And then just click High Jump Kick on everything else, essentially. It's pretty simple and pretty legit at the same time. Mega Lopunny is going to put in a lot of work in this matchup. Next up, we have Thor, our Thunderous, also rocking a Life Orb once again this week with Prankster ability. 236 in speed with a Naive Nature. This allows us to outspeed, I believe it is the... What are we trying to outspeed here? What were we trying to outspeed? Infernape. This allows us to outspeed a max speed Infernape by 1 point, so it's really, really good to have. We are rocking Volt Switch knockoff, Psychic, and Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave again to paralyze those sweepers. Getting off a Prankster Thunder Wave against just about anything is going to be fantastic. We can shut down any sweeper we want, no matter what. We're going to get that Thunder Wave off and ruin its day. Psychic is there because he does have 4 Mons weak to it, especially the Toxicroak, which is 4 times weak to it. But I'd be sketchy about doing it in front of the Toxicroak for the potential of a Sucker Punch, which I believe could kill me. So that's definitely a scary thought in my mind. But still an option, especially for those things like the Infernape. Knockoff is mainly for utility, but we can do big damage with it. We do outspeed the Mismagius, so we can hit that thing with a knockoff as well. It'll be super effective and have a really good chance of taking it out. And at the same time, you know, getting rid of something else's item if they decide not to stay in. And then Volt Switch is there mainly for momentum. We outspeed, you know, all of his water types, so, you know, we can hit those things really, really hard with the Volt Switch. None of them are going to appreciate it, and it'll do very, very big damage. Very, very standard Thunderous set, nothing too special about it. The EVs, the only reason the EVs are this way is because they are just spread out for my own weird purposes, because I wanted to have an odd number of HP, so I had to throw 4 there, and that 4 doesn't change anything in his attack stat, so I just threw it in defense, because why not? But that's going to be our Thunderous. Next, we have a debuting member of the team, Preference the Gothitelle, holding the Choice Scarf with Shadow Tag. Shadow Tag is legal in this league, so definitely going to take advantage of that when I can. If I can trap something like the Toxicroak or something like that, and it'd be really, really great. I would truly be happy with trapping just about anything. We were running a moveset of Psyshock, Hidden Power, Ground, Energy Ball, and Trick. Trick is there for the case of maybe like the Machamp or the Barbaracle or something like that. If Barbaracle, basically I outspeed a good portion of some of his mons, which would allow me to then go in, click choice, click trick, give them a choice scarf, and let me actually see. What is 93 times 1.5? 93 times 1.5. We hit 139.5, which allows us to outspeed a max speed Adamant Hitmonlee and an Adamant Toxicroak. So that's kind of the thought process there behind the amount of speed we have. So that's great. That's great. We have the energy. We have the trick to potentially shut down a sweeper. We're going to outspeed, obviously, with the scarf, and so at least some of them are already with the scarf. And then if we can scarf them if we can trick them the scarf before they click their setup move, they'll be locked into their. I believe how it works is they'll be locked into that setup move. So then we can just go ahead and click whatever move we want and KO them. Psyshock is there for all those fighting types. We don't outspeed a lot of them, but they can't do too much damage to us. So we'd be able to do some very, very decent damage back to them. And potentially take them out, which would be fantastic. Then we have Hidden Power Ground. Hidden Power Ground is for all of the ground weaknesses on the team. I mean, I don't really need to spell them out. There's like half of his team is weak to ground, which is great for us. But it'll be really great. It at least gives us something to hit the Mega Aggron with as well. Lastly, we have the Energy Ball for things like the Azumarill or the Barbaracle, especially Barbaracle. If I see a situation where I have Gothitelle in front of Barbaracle, I won't waste time tricking. I will just click Energy Ball. Energy Ball will take it out without any form of issue whatsoever. The EV spread's very, very interesting. 252 in HP allows us to have the odd number that we like. Let me actually check something real quick. Running this set actually allows us to take a Sucker Punch fairly nicely from a Toxicroak. We only take about 60 to 71%, which is great. So that's really, really helpful, and then we can kill it with a Psyshock. With this Bold Nature and a couple of EVs into our defense. Really gives us a balanced amount of bulk, so we can take hits on both sides, which is great. And then the remainder went into our special attack so that we can hit as hard as possible. Gothitelle, if we get a chance to, can put in a lot of work in a lot of different matches, and hopefully we can really make Gothitelle shine this season, because it is a very underrated mon, and since Smogon banned with Shadow Tag being banned in Smogon rules, it really hurt Gothitelle's usability. So definitely getting the chance to make this thing viable again in the league format is fantastic. So Gothitelle is going to put in a lot of work for me. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. Because Gothitelle is fantastic in my opinion, and I love this thing. I'm so excited to have this thing available to me. Next up, we have Cannon's Armag Mortar. I like to try to bring one a little bit goofy set every week, but it's not all that goofy. It's very viable in my opinion, but at the same time, it's still kind of goofy. But we have Magmortar here with the wide lens with Flame Body, max special attack, max speed, modest nature, 8 into HP. Very standard spread, but the wide lens is there very specifically because Mega Aggron is a thing. Mega Aggron is definitely a thing. And it's a very annoying thing, because of the fact of how ridiculously fat it is. Now, what is one thing that it's weak to? Fire. What is one thing that I have a very powerful fire type? Well, it just so happens I do. And I can literally now, with the wide lens, just click Fire Blast and have no issue whatsoever. I can hit this thing with a Fire Blast and put it out of its misery, essentially. Tear right through it without any real issue at all. We can literally just click Fire Blast. It does 71 to 83% to Mega Aggron. So if this thing has taken any prior damage, it's going down 100%. It is getting absolutely blasted off the face of the earth, which is great. So we're definitely running that Fire Blast. It's going to put in a lot of work for us. We're also running these Psychic to handle all those fighting types. We are running HP Grass for the chance to fight off against that Barbaracle. Since we are running max speed with a modest nature, we will outspeed a jolly Barbaracle. We actually outspeed it by 3 points. So if Barbaracle comes out in front of us, we can click HP Grass and just deal with it. And then lastly, we are packing the Will-O-Wisp, which I also running the wide lens to basically guarantee it is 85% accurate. Pretty much will guarantee, I believe, 1.1 times. So what's 85 times 1.1? What's 85 times 1.1? 85 times 1.1. 93.5. So basically a 94% accurate move now. So we have a better chance of hitting those Will-O-Wisps, burning key things like Toxicroak, Azumarill, Bisharp, a lot of things like that we can get a nice easy burn on, and then they're officially no longer a threat to us, and we can deal with them accordingly thereafter. So that would be really, really cool. If Magmortar can burn a few things, that'd be great. Magmortar overall is a really, really devastating monster to have on our team, and I'm really, really looking forward to using it this week if we get a chance to. It'd be really, really great. Magmortar is a fun mon to have this season. It's not the fire type I wanted, but so far it provides me with more options than I think I would have had with other mons, so I'm really, really happy that we got this one out of all of them. So that's going to be our Magmortar this week. Next up, we have a good old favorite. Hopefully, he doesn't bring anything. I don't think he has anything with Magnet Rise this week to try and avoid this guy, but we are bringing back Black Lagoon, our Swampert, with the leftovers this week. Calm Nature, 252 spread with HP and special defense, with 4 going into our defense stat. Just for all bulk, 100% bulk. Running Scald, Earth Power, HP Grass, and Stealth Rocks. The HP Grass is there entirely for the Barbaracle. We also are a switch in to... we can switch into the Clawitzer, and we can switch into the Azumarill pretty much very easily, and we can click HP Grass against them. No problem. We have the Earth Power for the ridiculous amount of ground weaknesses. We have Scald to get burns. Essentially, that's the only reason anyone ever brings Scald, to be honest, is to try and get a burn on something. And then we have the Stealth Rocks. If we set up Stealth Rocks, it's going to cause a lot of damage to his team. He doesn't have too many rock weaknesses, but still, 12% here, 12% there. It adds up really, really quickly and can allow us to potentially pick up a lot of kills. We saw how effective Stealth Rocks were last week. The only thing that I see on his team that is a way of removing that would be his Hitmonlee if he brought Rapid Spin Hitmonlee. So that's the only thing I can see. If he ends up bringing the Hitmonlee, kudos to him. He has a spinner, and then he can just get rid of my rocks, no problem. But honestly, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I don't think he's actually going to bring that against us. I think that'd be kind of silly in my opinion. But yeah, we got this set going. It's pretty nice. It's pretty legit. The reason I'm running a special set instead of a physical set also is mostly due to the fact that Mega Aggron is just such an amazing physical tank that bringing Earthquake would just kind of be pointless. And overall, a lot of the mons that I would be hitting with Earth Power are actually more physically bulky than specially bulky. You know, Drapion, Mega Aggron, Bisharp, Barbaracle, all of them are decently physically bulky. So Earth Power will hit them a bit harder than Earthquake would, in my opinion. And I believe that's what the calcs said as well when I was prepping for this. So that's why we're going to go ahead and use Earth Power over that and make a special set, because it'll just be more effective, in my opinion. Lastly, we are bringing, after taking a week off because he put in so much work, you know, wiping out that Mega Swampert Swift Swim in week 1, put in so much work then, why not bring him back now? We are calling back Wall Breaker, the Kyurem Black. This week running a Naughty Nature, nice and naughty, with max attack. This thing is, look at that attack. I don't even need to say anymore. Look at his attack stat. It's 244 attack stat. That's ridiculously disgusting. Rocking a speed of 140 with the Choice Scarf. This thing outspeeds an Adamant Hitmonlee naturally, and then with the Choice Scarf outspeeds his entire team straight up. I mean, if something else is Scarf that's faster than us naturally, by all means, you got me there, buddy. But at the end of the day, this thing outspeeds what it needs to outspeed when it needs to outspeed it. We're running a mixed set with 52 special attack EVs as well, so that we can run Earth Power. Earth Power is our main way on this mon to hit the Mega Aggron. This we can pick it off. If we've already done some damage, if it starts to tear through our team, we can pick it off near the end and you know, finish it off without any real issue. Which would be fantastic. I'd be really happy if we could just pick it off with Kyurem, because Kyurem is an amazing mon and deserves to get a lot of kills. But you know, that kind of happens. Once the Mega Aggron goes down, essentially, we just bring this thing in and click Outrage. Nothing on his team, nothing at all, switches into an Outrage and takes it nicely. Nothing at all. Bisharp, Toxicroak, all of them are 2-hit. Everything on his team is 2-hit KO'd by Outrage, which is really, really disgusting. If he brings the Azumarill, though, it could be a little bit of an issue, but we do have the Fusion Bolt if we have the opportunity to click that. That'll work too. He has no ground types on his team that I can see, so that you can switch into a Fusion Bolt. So Fusion Bolt will still do a large amount of damage, and I believe it does, in fact, 2-hit KO the Azumarill, if not OHKO it. It just might OHKO it. Actually, I'm going to find that out right this minute. I'm going to find that out right now. Kyurem Black, Wall Breaker, versus an Azumarill. Say standard Choice Banded Azumarill. Drop you down to level 50. Yeah, Fusion Bolt does 93 to 110%, so yeah, it has a good chance to OHKO it. So yeah, it's definitely a very viable option. So lastly, we are packing the Zen Headbutt because they do have a lot of fighting types that are not going to appreciate it, and I believe, you know, with a chance to flinch on top of it, that makes things so much better. Also, the cool thing about it is, if he decides to run No Guard Machamp, Terra Volt will nullify the No. I believe it nullifies the No Guard. I believe it would nullify No Guard so that he would like miss his dynamic punches, which would be hilarious. That'd be like a very hilarious scenario. Or we could like hit an Earth Power on Miss Magius because it threw it to Levitate, and because just fuck it, right? Or you know, if the Hitmonlee tries to get on Burden boosted, Terra Volt will shut that down really fast. Will outspeed and kill it. What other abilities do we got going on here that could be problematic? I believe we shut down Azumarill's huge power. I'm not sure how that works, but I don't know if we can shut that one down. But it would be pretty cool if we did, because then that thing couldn't kill us if it wanted to. I believe we also shut down Mega Aggron's filter. I believe we do shut down its filter, which is great. Yeah, we do shut down its filter, which is insane. We shut down its filter, so we fire off an Earth Power on the thing. It has no filter. If it's max specially defensive, it's a 3-hit KO. But at the end of the day, that's a 3-hit KO on a Mega Aggron. That's crazy. That's insane. I love it. Absolutely love it. But with that, that's going to be the end of our team builder. Hopefully, we can take this team and run it to victory. We have a very good chance of doing so because, you know, he is 0-2, but I'm not going to underestimate him by any means. He's, you know, he obviously is, you know, it's the minor leagues and everything, but he's in the league for a reason. He must be a good enough battler to feel confident enough to join such a league. So there's definitely a chance that we could lose this. You know, if he gets the right setup at the right time, if he plays it right, you know, we could in fact lose this matchup. I could see it happening. So don't hold out too much hope, guys. Don't hold out too much hope. But I think with this squad, we can definitely tear through his team and come out with a W. But with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Wish us luck in the battle. I'm PokePrimer, signing off.